like, I don't, if we're watching at home, I don't look like a man who's ready for anything, to be honest with you. The facial hair is a big problem that if you haven't showered yet, there's no way to make this not look completely insane in the morning.
And there's probably no excuse for that because you've probably been up for a couple hours, eh?
I've been up since, yeah, about an hour and a half I've been up. So,
Just having
there
yourself a
was a lot of,
Saturday.
there, it's fucking terrible. It's so hard to get going if I have nothing to do. Because I'm like, theoretically, what the mission is like, I'll just get up, I'll get a run in, and then I kept thinking about the run and how cold it's outside and everything, and I'm like, oh, well now if I ran, it would have to be a short run, and then it's just like, well, now I just can't run.
Yeah,
So,
I couldn't even.
yeah, and so I'm like, I'll make a cup of coffee before I go into the office, and then I didn't make a cup of coffee, so I also didn't get that done. And then it was
Dude,
literally
did you even shit this morning?
I have not. I have
Oh,
not.
what? How are you alive?
I have not done anything to help me as a person. I literally had no value added in any way outside of like getting up. Like I've done nothing constructive that warranted getting out of bed. I should have rolled out of bed and then just signed on here. That's what I should have done. Because then I at least maybe would have gotten more sleep.
Dude, this is your
So
purpose now.
I'm
Can you
ready.
Can you get through the day and be like, well, at least we recorded that podcast? That'll be your thing.
I have a wedding to go to, which is that much worse because it's like if I'm functioning this poorly and I have to go to a wedding and like interact with strangers and have, you know, social experiences and be upbeat, which it'll come around. I don't feel bad. I just haven't done anything yet that has made a difference. So this episode's got to come. It's got to be good. It's got to be good because if the episode's trash, then I'll think about how much the episode was trash, and then who knows where that goes. But I don't have time for that. I gotta get going. I gotta shamefully fit into my suit. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah. When was the last time you wore it?
I last wore that suit in February.
Okay.
Maybe.
So it's still fit. A good fit.
In February it was. That do not ask me that. That's months and months and months ago.
What are the odds you put one leg in, the other, and you're just like,
well, I already
fuck it.
I'm
done.
Like allegedly the pant legs are long enough, but I feel like they go so high when you sit down. But I've like Googled and YouTubed it, and it's supposed to be like that. Like your pant leg goes really high because they're like, oh yeah, your socks are gonna show and blah. And I'm like, but it feels so stupid. Like, why do suits fit differently than our everyday clothes? Why? That's dumb. Then I can't tell what I'm supposed to look like.
Yeah, it's a big pose. Like you got to have the right socks for it. I don't know why. Yeah, you're right. Sexy suits really expose the ankles. That's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't like.
Are you thinking about doing like? Are you thinking about usurping the wedding and doing a proposal yourself? That's always a classy move.
People love that.
Yeah, they love it.
But
take it.
Yeah, it's the important part is to draw attention away from the awkward wedding. I think that's what brides and grooms really appreciate. Is they're like, finally, someone's taking the. Brides usually say, "Thank you for taking away the spotlight. This isn't a princess-like moment for me, and so I appreciate you taking away the spotlight." No, that's not in the cards.
Well,
so
there's a wedding today that I was invited to as well, and I am not going.
Okay, no. I was gonna say I'm like that you were invited to. That doesn't sound like someone who's going.
IRSVP.
Careful. Sound it out.
Oh, it's spelled different than you think it would be.
It's not. You're literally reciting letters.
It's rizipped. I rizipped no. It's my cousin and all my family's there to represent me. So I feel like I have good people there. Like literally everybody else in my family. Well, no. Actually, no. My younger sister's not there either. We're the black sheeps. But my nephew's gonna pull a good one for me. He's gonna probably say some cute stuff or make people laugh, and that's all I need.
Is
just a representative.
Is this a first cousin?
It is. But she's we live in Ohio. She's like 15 years younger than me. Never really had much of a relationship. I mean, if the wedding would have been here, I would have gone.
Okay, it's a traveling wedding. That does clarify a lot. Traveling wedding's different. Traveling wedding's different. You're never obligated to go to a wedding that's more than 2 hours away, I'd say.
I'm telling you, it's gonna be my move, dude. When I get married, and I will, it's gonna be like just a place where nobody wants to go, just to make it really intimate. But it will be live streamed for sure.
I want it to be in a place that has zero meaning, that you've never been to, and is completely irrelevant in like America itself. I want you to like almost like just Google, like Chat GPT, a random city or town. Yeah, it's got to be a town, a random town. Actually, Chat GPT, a random state.
Let's look it up right now.
And then in that state, I want you to GPT a random town. Ask it to give you a random state, and then in that state, say, I want to give me a random town in that state.
All right, I'm gonna say, why don't you say where should I get married?
No, that's stupid because it's gonna give you popular things.
Oh, I see. You're right. Yeah,
you're not listening. You are not listening to me. You're not making it funny. You're making it cute, and that's fucking stupid. Stop it. Grow up. Focus. I need you to focus. You couldn't say RSVP. You're not listening to the directions. This whole fucking operation's going down the shitter, and your wife is going to be pissed.
I'm going to play the theme song.
All right.
I've confused my priorities. Isn't it supposed to come to me? Yes, this is how it's meant to be. Every little thing flashing on a screen.
So you're going full hobo beard, huh?
Yeah. It's scraggly. It holds things.
The grays do a beard no service.
No.
Do you get, question. Do you get advertised like on Instagram or whatever, your Facebook, like products based on the way your face looks? Because I've been getting that lately.
What does it give you, like suggestions for like masks? Oh, sick bird!
F&A, Cotton, F&A.
He's not gonna be able to recover.
Yeah, it's Halloween all year. Well, sort of though. It does. Where like, especially because I just posted like some pictures and stories from my New York trip. Never gonna stop talking about. I went to New York. Rah, 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 rah. And a few selfies, and now all of a sudden it's like, hey, you would be interested in these under eye masks or bag things, and have you ever considered 4 hymns for your male pattern baldness? And
yes, it's really insulting.
Here's a magic makeup pen for men with blotchy skin and whatever, and it's definitely not makeup because really you say for men throat. And you probably like this. And I'm like, wait, why do they? I never looked this up. Why do they? Yeah.
Here's another product. Have you tried healthy relationships?
Yeah.
No, I can't. I don't have that gauge because I have looked for beard products and stuff like that my own. So obviously it's pulling ad manipulation from that. So I don't know if it's going off. But also, I mean, my profile picture on Facebook's been the same for like probably 3 years now. 2.5, 3 years.
I did buy a hat off of Instagram. I think I bought sneakers there once before too. But now they just think I really also love sneakers and a hat. And I'm like, I got my hat. I'm good for another year.
Come see me. Yeah. Another year. I'm probably good for half a decade.
Yeah. Like, you guys are barking up the wrong tree.
Yeah. You need hats? No, I needed a hat. I needed hat. And now I that's at the bottom of the list. If I have a list of shit I need, hat has now made its way all the way to the bottom.
What I am in the market for, and we're going to test it out.
Yeah.
I do want a new belt in my life. So I haven't gotten any of those. I haven't gotten an ad for belts yet. So I'm saying it, putting it to the ether, and next week we'll test it out.
Yeah. Now,
what kind of sexy belt game I'm going to be having.
Now, you got to is this a casual belt or a dress belt?
I use the same belt for everything.
Okay.
It's basically like
risky.
a Nike golf belt, essentially. So it's like you can flip it around. It's either black or light black.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Sort of like
Reversible. Anything reversible is chic.
Yeah. But I was like, you know what I was thinking I might do? Like, I really want to shake up my life a bit and go. I've been rocking the black belt, and usually I got like my black Vans or darker. I might start to become a brown boy. You know, I haven't rocked brown in a while.
Well, that's
brown belt, brown shoes.
Might become a brown.
Especially with all this makeup I'm going to be getting. I'm going to be a brown boy real soon. I'm going to have a solid foundation. I'm going to get that, that Central New York tan that I've been in Florida for 800 years all in a week, but I live in Syracuse. That kind of complexion. I'm going to have that. And it's going to be the color of a belt. And I'm going to be, because you really want to match your belt to your face. In upstate New York.
I don't know that that's a thing. No.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah. Brown's a great color. A lot of people will tell you that, man.
Solid. I would put it in the top 2 belt colors.
Yeah. Easy top 2. Yeah. Stick with us next episode when we talk about our other belt color that's in the top 2. But we're gonna call that a cliffhanger.
What's your suit combo though? What are you doing? Give me the fit. Describe it to me. Besides your
I don't
suit
know
fit.
how to describe. I am regular.
Just regular wedding.
Yeah, well, there's no such thing when you're my size. There's no such thing as slim fit. Okay, that's false advertising. So no, it's a gray suit, dark like a charcoal. So it's dark gray.
Nice, sensible.
I'll be wearing black shoes. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I don't remember. I think I have black shoes. That's another thing. Dress shoes are a nightmare. They're uncomfortable. I don't want to wear them. I want to wear comfy shoes. I honestly don't even remember what color shirt and tie I'm wearing, dude. I don't know.
Do you want to be the guy
at this point? At this point, I'm hoping the suit is actually in my closet and that's like not missing somehow.
How about, do you want to be the cool guy, like the cool uncle guy that shows up with the suit but Vans? It's like, I don't know. It's just my personality. I gotta express myself a little bit. I know this is somebody else's day, but I gotta be myself.
It is. You got to be yourself and do that most traditional, non-traditional move in a wedding. It's like me and my groomsmen are all going to wear Vans. That's so wild. So wild that it became pretty normal.
That was the thing too with this. I don't even want to besmirch it because I don't really know her at all, but it seems like my cousin, like this wedding, I don't know, whatever. I don't want to hate on it, but it's not my style of like, they're doing all the traditional things, but in a modern way. It's like they still send out the magnet, like save the date, but then also the RSVP thing. And then, but instead of like for our rehearsal dinner, we're going to get McDonald's because we just love chicken McNuggets. And it's like, it's so crazy of us, even though you're still doing a rehearsal dinner. Like you're doing all the steps, but just with a fun little twist, because we're so unique. That does sound mean. It sounds like I'm actually judging them now. My bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it sounds like you're a piece of shit. No, I'm
but why invite me to the wedding? You don't even know me. That was your mistake. You're lucky I'm not coming. That's my gift to you.
That is a very good point. Why are we not going on the hierarchy of how, like, do you know me currently?
Yeah.
Like, and there are some people that get a pass. Some family members that are, deeply entwined, but you are all adults, so you don't get to just don't get to see each other as much anymore. But you stay in contact and stuff like that. That's different. But there's the weird dynamic of like, and I've obviously not been married, but going to so many weddings, it's kind of funny to meet some people at the wedding and like you ask the groom and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's my mom's like good friend from when she was growing up. They
Yes.
don't really talk anymore, and I've never really talked to them. I think I went to their house once when I was in like second grade. They live in like Yuma, but yeah, that's who that is." I'm like, "You invited them to your wedding?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"Why?" It's like because your parents get like say and like, "Hey, my friends are bored. Like they'd love to go to a wedding," and it's like, I don't know. The draft class of a wedding is really weird. I feel like there's a lot of too many cooks in the kitchen when it comes to planning a wedding invite list, and you're destined to have someone that's there that took the spot of someone that probably merits being there more. At least I would say at least 10% of the people. I'll say 10% of the people at your wedding are the wrong 10%. They shouldn't be there, and
Yeah.
10%, and they should be replaced with someone else. I'd say 10% is a very strong one, and I would love to hear feedback from the Strange Fam and tell me if you had to
Yes.
slap a
Comment
percentage
section.
on it.
Let's go.
Looking back on your wedding now, and I'm going to solicit this out because I want to find this out and talk about it next time. Is I want to know how big of a percent you would have changed, like to have those people not be at your wedding and replace them with other people. And obviously, they can't be people that would be subsequently that you met after your wedding. That's not how this game is played. But where you just flat out go, "I invited the wrong fucking people."
Because how many like, I think once you start getting to the thing of like, well, we should invite them. It's like, then don't. Like, why is that? Like, if somebody's gonna be mad because you didn't invite them to the wedding, you didn't want them at your wedding. Like that kind of thing,
True.
in a way. Like, if they're gonna make a
It's
stink
very
about it,
true.
and it's like, but you know what? Maybe I guess from a couple of guys who are really good in social situations and maintaining relationships, take it from us. We're like, let us put. Can we be
Damn
wedding
it.
consultants? Like, have
Oh,
people come to.
oh, right. Oh,
Yeah,
right. As he looks at himself. Oh,
yeah,
right.
yeah,
Never mind.
yeah. What you're
Oops.
gonna want
Oops.
to
I
do
judged.
is stash a suit for several years, and then just on your wedding day, check to see if it's still there.
Look for moths.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I've been like, "Oh, I didn't get invited to the wedding, huh?"
Ooh.
And actually, it's
Who?
actually a really. Oh, I don't even many. Why? I mean, I forget. But well,
Most of the
that's the
weddings
fun
I've not
dynamic
been
of
invited to. Yeah.
that's the fun dynamic of being in a fraternity is like and staying close with a lot of the
Mm-hmm,
guys
mm-hmm.
is is you don't know who to talk to about who's going to the wedding because you don't know who was invited and who wasn't. So like,
Interesting.
yeah, so you have to almost ask the groom, "Hey man, I need you to give me a list of the brothers that did get invited so I'll only talk to them about the wedding." Not I don't know why you have to keep it a secret because it like they're going to know eventually, so
They're
it's
gonna
just weird.
know. They're gonna know.
I don't know.
Yeah, you know what? That is interesting. Like, cause I guess even at this ripe old age, being in the fraternity still has an effect. I mean, it really is a fraternity. They're not lying. It's part of your life, your whole life.
Oh
Now
yeah.
I don't know. If I go backwards in time, do I join a fraternity? Should I have?
Ooh.
Do you think? I mean, well, it's hard to say because you can't change your life. But are you? I don't know. How do I ask this? Because it's like, of course you're glad you were in it, because that's the basis of all your relationships. Could you imagine a life where you never were in the fraternity? Even I don't even know how you would.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how you can imagine not knowing majority of your adult like friends and stuff.
Because
Like,
most of your relationships are, a lot of them are based from that, right? Still to this
oh yeah.
day.
Yeah. Yeah. I have very I have limited amount of people that weren't in some way, shape, or form associated with the fraternity. I have um our friend Mike, who went to school in Rochester area, Brockport, and met some of his friends from college and then stayed close with them. So they're like, a close group of friends that I have, which is interesting because like I kind of came into the picture. Um, then I have I mean, other than you now, I don't really talk to like a ton of our like our friends from Auburn. Really, it's so like that eliminates K through 12. I mean, I like seeing I hung out with our friend Kerry last summer. He lives in Baltimore. I went to a Yankees game with him. Um, you had seen Sean at Wegmans. Obviously, if I'm in Auburn, he and I will get together for a drink, something like that. But as far as like long ongoing relationships, I mean, everything really does stem from the fraternity and then the small group of friends that I have in New Jersey that are through work, more or less. So,
I
yeah,
should
man.
have done it.
Yeah,
Well, and it was weird because at Colgate you couldn't rush your freshman year because they wanted you to like you couldn't even
Go to
declare your
school.
major. They wanted you to come in and like because it was like liberal arts, so you got to
Explore.
like explore, do all
You
don't
couldn't
decide
declare a
right now.
major your freshman year?
No, you couldn't do it till the end of your
Wow.
sophomore year. It's like
End
precious
of your
boy, don't
sophomore
decide,
year.
don't decide. Yeah, that's when
So
you
wait,
declared it.
you went to super hyper prestigious like private CCC, like community college? Like
Yeah.
so
Well,
yeah,
because
you went
they made you
you
yeah because you'd have to take
actually
these core classes, but they weren't like math. It was like the challenge of modernity, Western tradition. You have to like do these like all these core classes that were like exploring all the disciplines of education, and then you
oh
from that you would
goodness.
decide.
Oh
Whereas
goodness.
I just went. I mean, it kind of was a good idea and a bad idea because when I went in, I had that 18-year-old energy. I was like, I'm gonna fucking be a finance major. I'm gonna work on Wall Street. I'm gonna make 6 figures starting. And I took my first couple econ classes freshman year and just
This
like,
is fucking
this
terrible.
sucks. I hate this so much.
Microeconomics, what the shit is this?
And I hated the people in it because it was like it's a rich kid school except for me, but it was like because all of the kids had Land Rovers and shit, but they're all from like Boston and New York. I'm making fun of that because those are the cities that I like. But it's like, but I don't live there. I'm not from there. I'm not rich like that. Um, and then I don't fit in with these kids at all. You know what I'll do? Let me read some books from the 1800s and major in that, but not just any books. Books from Russia. Yeah, that's the ticket. If you read some Dostoevsky, yeah, that's what I'll do. Let me what's that? 40,000 a year? It's good. Yeah, worth it. Thanks, Dad. Yeah, it's good. Thanks, Mom and Dad. I'm gonna read a few books. Something I could have got for $1.35 in late fees. How's that Boston accent? The public library. So yeah, I would have been an econ major, and it probably would have been a good idea now that I think about it. But since they gave me the
Mm-hmm.
time, I remember between my freshman and sophomore year, I didn't fail my freshman year, but for me, I did. Like I didn't do well because like I was good grades in high school and shit, and then I just didn't have it my freshman year. I just part of it was probably just adjusting to being in college or being alone or trying to like make friends or everything like that. A part of it was like this is a lot harder than public school, and then also I don't know what I like. Why are you making me? Why do I have to do this right now? I don't know.
Yep.
I'm gonna take astronomy because I think it'll be easy, and it is not. You know what? The study of the cosmos is very hard.
Who'd have
It's like,
thought that would be complex?
yeah, I know.
Not me.
That's my first C plus ever. Um,
Then I
and I
got
was like,
used to them.
fuck. Yeah, and then I was like, that's why. Then I changed because I was like, oh, I got to take a language. And that was I literally my the reason I did Russian studies was because yeah, after freshman year, I remember sitting at home on Westwood, and I was like, I got to do something. I got to do a language. I guess I've done French in high school. I was like, why don't I just do? Maybe I'll just do Russian just cause, and I'll do this reading course. And it was because oh, I played hockey. U.S. Russia relations are interesting because of Miracle on Ice, and that's why I did it. So I was like, I'll take a Russian class. I liked the professor that I had.
Mm-hmm.
I liked. It was like the first time like we read Crime and Punishment, and I was like, this is cool. I never appreciated reading in high school or anything like that or understanding it. But when I just really liked the teacher. He's like, do you want to go to Russia? And I was like, hell yeah, I do. and that just kind of steamrolled from there. Um, and God damn, I should have financed though. That would have been great. I'd be rich.
Yeah.
Think of all the blow I
Mhm.
could have done.
Yeah, man.
But
Yeah, money can be exchanged for cocaine. Yeah, I mean, I had a similar situation, but mine, I think the origins were a little different. So I went to school, we know, to be a math teacher originally. Um,
that's right. You were like, yeah, that was like you were a math dude. You were
yeah,
always an advanced / enriched math student.
I
I remember.
was. And I remember I had to write an inspiration like essay for the teacher that inspired you to become a teacher. And I wrote about Ms. Carnavelli, our math teacher I had her 10th and 11th grade. Yeah, 10th and 11th. No, 9th and 10th maybe. I don't know. But anyway, the plot twist, the essay was about how much of a terrible teacher she was, and that's what inspired me to be a good teacher. Because I swear she hated kids. Like, she was such a bitch. She's just a fucking curmudgeon. And I literally wrote an essay about how much I disliked her teaching. Yeah. And I go, that's what inspired me to be a teacher. I'm like, because if you want kids to learn, it's not about yelling at them. It's about making the topic easier for them to understanding that people learn different ways, making class fun. Because if you don't make class fun, they're just going to fucking ignore you, and there's nothing you can do about it. You can't yell them back into paying attention. So, especially in math, because math is the easiest thing for people to give up on, because they'll just go like, I don't understand it, the end. Like, but then I got to college and some of the advanced stuff, when I remember like started taking like matrix algebra and like Calc 3, I was getting really confused. I didn't really understand it, and that was getting really demoralizing. Now I would say, oh, wow, maybe I just don't understand math, which is what I kind of copped out saying. But in reality is, I didn't go to class a ton, and if you don't know how math works, skipping math class isn't a good way to learn math. Like, you can skip other classes and read the book and go online. If you skip math class, you're kind of fucked. And don't worry, math never is progressively going to the next thing, to the next thing. So if you miss steps, you'll just understand the next thing. No, you won't. You miss the foundational shit, and then it just spirals out of control until you drop the class or fail miserably. So I said, I didn't. So then that's when I changed to business, because you could do that with business. But also I actually did like my business classes, so I mostly went to those. But I did successfully skip a science class. I believe it was 28 times in a semester and got a B+.
Dude, that's my nightmare.
It was like a basic physics class, Physics 103. The guy's name was Steinfeld. And it was so basic. It was easier than high school physics. And I'm like, I don't understand how this is a college course and is something I need to take. So I just literally, I don't know. It was incredible though, because he did this weird method of taking attendance. He would read like 5 random names off of the roster and just see if those people are there. So everyone else would get marked there. But if he called your name and you weren't there, that's how you got marked absent.
So what's the record of you? So he only got you for like 3 missed classes or something like that?
Oh, I don't even know if he ever got me. I mean, he logged a grade for me. But one incredible thing we did is, because we saw how flighty he was, because he was your typical, wow, you are smart, but you have 0 social skills and you probably shouldn't be a college professor. You need to be in a lab somewhere. So me, my friend Jared, and my friend John were all in this science class together. And oh, that's right. He would call, and we would also have to do a sign-in list. Like, they would pass around the sign-in sheet. That's how it was. Sorry. So what Jared once did was Jared added the name Joe Silverman to the sign-in sheet just to be an ass. And so we're like, let's just keep adding Joe Silverman. And then Jared started filling out homework assignments and passing those in for Joe Silverman. And then we had a friend come in on a test a kid who wasn't in the class. We had him come in, take the test as Joe Silverman. So we achieved success when one day he was calling out the attendance and he called Joe Silverman as one of like the random 5 people. So I don't know if we bullied him into thinking Joe Silverman was in fact in his class, but he got his name called and we were like,
You must have had such a hard time trying to like input his grade, like trying to find him in the
That's
register.
what we're hoping. But he's so
Yeah.
awkward that it never came up. Like he never asked Joe Silverman to stay after class or anything like that. So like, yeah, because like I would ask Jared and John, and be like, so did Steinfeld find out about Joe Silverman? They're like, no, nothing yet.
What's funny is he definitely had to have a conversation with somebody in his department or the administration of like, I have all these scores and I can't find his like his name, and I'm trying to like give him his grade. And...
They're probably honestly because everyone's like, who the fuck cares? It's everyone's future. No one gives a shit. So they're probably like, just add him to your roster. We'll figure it out after.
Well, somebody's like, dude, you're an idiot. Like,
yeah.
This guy believed that there was somebody in his class that. That's good. I like that. That's such a harmless, sweet prank.
It is.
I love it.
It is. My buddy Jared was very good at coming up with just weird. That guy's brain. I'd be terrified if I had to live a moment in his brain. Like smartest guy I know, but also the best at everything. So what I mean by that is like Jared is like 6'3", built like a tree trunk.
Oh,
like,
so
but
smart.
He doesn't work out. And he's also extremely smart. Like he was the computer guy on our floor. He actually got in trouble with the college because he was running like a server out of his room, and they realized like a lot of the college bandwidth was going to his room directly. And they found his computers on winter break when everything, obviously there's no one in the dorms and all of the bandwidth is going to one room. And so like he got in trouble for that because they took the tower and found out that he had a bunch of movies. Because mind you, it's 2001 going into 2002, so he had a torrent service and was like uploading a shit ton through there, and so he got in trouble, and had to write a letter of apology to like the American Movie Association or something. Yeah, dude, like he got himself into a lot of pickles, but he was also strong and good at ping pong and just everything you could do. Dude. Jared was better. It sucked. I mean, it's awesome. He's a great guy. I love him. I haven't seen him in years, but yeah, he'll make you feel bad about yourself pretty quick, but not on purpose.
I got asked to go to the dean's office one day, and I was like, wait, is this like does this work like a principal? Is this PCU or something? Like, I didn't know this was a thing that you had to go to the dean's office. I don't understand what's going on.
Were you put on double secret probation? What the hell?
I know, this is a real thing because of online. Like, I guess I got pinged as being somebody that was like had like uploads and downloads and stuff like that, and I was like a voracious torrenter as well. And then they were like, oh, you got to stop, this is like your warning, you could get like fined for this, and like the university. I was like, oh, but this is all intellectual property that I already have on physical media. So to my understanding, I can download digital copies of it without it being a copyright. And then
why did you push back?
Utter BS. I don't even know if that was true or not, because he didn't know. They didn't know either, because it was still so early in this, nobody really knew. Yeah. And he's like, well, yeah, I don't know, but I guess for now, just stop. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll stop. But to be like, I'm fucked here. Am I gonna get kicked out?
You didn't have to defend yourself. It sounded like he was just giving you a warning, and then you doubled down. Yeah. So literally, you bet only with the best chances that nothing would improve, but rather you're justifying it in hopes that he would call you out and go, okay, well, let's take a look at all of it. Because then you go like, I think I lost that. That was in my CD binder. It's probably at home.
Yeah. Well, I also used to be a huge piece of shit. I used to be.
Slick back hair. Sloppy steaks.
Yeah. Dude, I remember I had this. Yeah, I'd say Calc 2 I remember taking. And I had that professor that thought maybe he was a genius, but he acted like he was. He was like the genius who couldn't like take a shower, no offense, or like change his clothes or anything like that. So he'd always come in like late and just be like, oh, I just gotta, class, sorry, I was too busy being brilliant, to worry about class. I can't believe I have to teach people math because I'm so brilliant. I should be solving fucking Goodwill Hunting problems. And that's the way he always acted. So I fucking was failing. I mean, I thought it was me because I had taken calc. You know, we took Shiquan Choi's calculus in high school. I passed the AP exam, and I was like, Calc 2, let's go. And I was like, it's all me. I'm an idiot. And then one day, this guy didn't show up. The genius didn't show up. And there was another guy who was like the head of the department substituting. And he taught the class that day. And I was like, holy shit, I get it. Thank you for teaching me this, how this works. I understand it's a lot of mo beta now. But it's not going to help me for the rest of the semester. Thanks for
No.
one day of calculus.
Thanks for this day.
Yeah. But then he would do the thing like, okay, well, here's like these super advanced problems. And if you can like solve these, I will bump each problem you solve, I will bump up your grade. Like whatever, half, whatever, like a minus to a plus.
Half a
If it's a
letter.
plus, then it goes up to
Yeah.
the next minus, you know. And I was like, okay, so if I have a D, if I can get like 5 of these problems, 6 of these problems done, I can get like a B, you know? So I did it. What I did was that's when I worked in the library, which was the best job for me because I just worked the desk. But then I would already be there, so it'd make me like have to do my homework and read. So highly recommend for all of our 18, 19-year-old listeners, for all of our Gen Zers. I know we got a lot of Gen Alphas, the 11 and 12-year-olds. Work in the library. But I found the answer book to our calc book, the answer guide and like all that. So I wrote out the answers to like 6 of these problems, and in the last week, I turned them in. I was like, hey, I just wanted to turn these in for credit. And he's like, okay, yeah. But the idea is that you bring them in, but I want you to show me like how you solved it, like your thought process behind it. And I was like, oh yeah, sure. You know what? Yeah, I'll come in tomorrow and do that. And it's basically like it's like at Wegmans when someone's like their card doesn't go through, and it's like, I'm just gonna leave this cart here, and I'm gonna be right back. I'll be right back.
Yeah,
never came
they're
back.
not
Never
coming
showed
back.
up again. I was like, I'm gonna take it. I'll take whatever I get. I clearly don't understand this. I thought I could get away with it, but I can't. So I'll just take the D plus, which I did, lowest grade I've ever gotten in anything. But it's mostly his fault. I gotta think.
Good. I'm glad you learned from it.
I'll be back in 15 minutes. Yeah,
you learned from it. It's his fault.
Yeah,
it's good. At least
I
you learned
learned
a
that
lesson.
I'm not for calc. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I had a gen ed class that I had to take that was, I'm like, oh, music. I love music, so I'll take music history. And boy, you'd swear it was a capstone for a music master's, because this lady did not act like it was a gen ed. She was like, we had 4 textbooks that we had to buy for a gen ed.
Hell?
Dude, there was like, the class started with like 16 people. It ended with like 7 because so many people bounced. So many smart people bounced. I stayed around and failed it. And that was the class that kept me from my diploma. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right. That was the music class. Yeah. What kind of hit? I mean, was it like about music theory too, or was it just straight up history of like composers and all that?
It was some music theory, but it was a lot of stuff about composers. If I recall correctly, a heavy focus on the Baroque era. But I mean, it was incessant amount of information that she wanted, and I wasn't about to do that. Like, I feel like she looked into my eyes, I looked at hers, and I'm like, this isn't gonna fucking work. I'll show up every now and again, but just hand me my D or my F. So yeah, that's what it was really awkward about. Having that thing linger over my head for years and years and years and years and years and years. But some classes were great. I had an adolescent psychology class that was in my last semester of when I was still focusing on trying to be a teacher. That was really fun. My guidance counselor, is Vic Licatisi, I think. He was a high school guidance counselor at Hannibal High School. And then he taught the evenings in Oswego, and he taught our class, and it was a 3-hour, 1-day-a-week class. But man, this guy knew how to captivate people. We watched the movie Kids, which, if you're not familiar, that's something that's certainly wouldn't be shown in a high school, but I guess in college it was deemed appropriate.
College free reign with movies, yeah.
Yeah, we talked about and analyzed South Park, And he put spins on that for a lot of our lessons. I'm like, this guy knows exactly how to captivate me. Like, dude, it was such a fun class. Like, so never skipped that one. That was a rad class.
Do you ever feel like,
I love what?
because of childhood adolescence, is that what it was? Or adolescent psychology? He was just tapping into you as an adolescent. He was manipulating you. He just knew. But that's effort, at least. He's like, I'm going to manipulate you, but I'm going to try real hard. It's not going to, I'm going to do my thing.
Listen, like, I don't know. I never understood half of the professors and teachers. I am convinced that they do it for other reasons than liking to try to help people. I don't think it's the altruistic job that it's made out to be. And I'm a trainer, so that's I have the right to say that. But I think a lot, like every experience, you can easily tell me that like half your teachers look like they don't want to fucking deal with like explaining something to someone, when it's like, this is literally what your job is to get me to understand. So,
the best part of teaching also is that you need a second job now too. That's real cool. You know, how many people around here I've heard they're like, I'm a teacher, and it's like, oh, you work
and
here
a bartender,
too, or you work like at a bar at night.
You should basically get a reference sheet of which bars are hiring when you're hired as a teacher. Like, all right, and here's your options for your evening job.
That blows. What a bummer.
And that's in New York.
That's the only reason I don't teach.
You're in New York, the state that actually treats their teachers well.
I know.
People go people go to Florida and like they post like the job is posted on like someone's Facebook page, and it says like, comment yes if you want to be a third grade teacher. Like, that's how Florida hires like teachers in the South. Dude, one of my friends from Oswego,
what's your favorite book to burn?
She had like a 30-minute interview over the phone for a teaching job in North Carolina at like a high school, and she got it. It was just like oh, you have a New York degree? That works. Yeah, come on down whenever you're ready.
Do you have fingerprints?
Right.
Good. That's all we need.
Yeah, imagine like the public school system trying to tell you that you're not good enough to teach in the state of Florida. Like, you'd be like, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Sorry, you've read too many books.
Yep. That's going to be tough to work with. Mm. I see you speak real good. That's not going to work for us.
Scrolled'em?
Scrolled'em.
Another edition of Scrolled'em?
Yeah.
Hardly
you
know
want
him?
to go or you want me to go? What do you want to do?
I'm going to scroll them. Pew, 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 pew. Oh, and for everybody just listening now, just tuning in now on episode 41, 43 minutes in, this is a new hot game we're playing called Scrolled'em, where we scroll through our contact list of our phone and pick somebody random that to try it at home. You can do it at home. Send us in some stories if you have somebody. But most of the people, we realize when you go through your phone, you don't know who they are or why you remember them. So, and we're going to use that as kind of an avenue to tell each other stories, really engage this friendship even further. Okay, go.
I was going to say that this is strangely familiar with Matt and Jeff.
Holy shit. I don't even know who this is.
Yes!
Lawrence Resnick.
Okay. Johnny Resnick is the lead singer of Goo Goo Dolls, so maybe a friend, like a brother.
Spelled differently.
Cousin. Well, then I'm fresh out of ideas.
I don't know. What do we do when we really don't know? Do I just make up a story? Maybe, can I do a quick... Here, let me do a quick
Google search?
Yeah.
All right.
Why would I have his first full name? MD? That can't be right.
Oh, I bet you knew him from college.
Yeah. Department of Philosophy.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Oh, Austin, Texas.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
That might be our guy.
I specialize in helping people who are experiencing anxiety and depression.
Oh, no.
Wait, did I go to... Oh, God.
Oh, God, I hope that's
I guess you don't specialize that good. Wait, is it a 512 number?
Call him
It
up and tell
is.
him you're.
Oh, he's got
Call
an
him up.
office, West 6th
Call
Street. Oh, shit.
call him up.
Is this
Call
a
him up and tell
doctor
him
that
you're
I went
coping
to?
by. Tell him you're coping by having a podcast.
I don't remember this.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. Well,
All right.
he did a really good job, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, how do I feel about that? I don't know if it's bad that I mean, I literally know. I sort of now remember like looking up, like maybe going through insurance or something and looking up a doctor. And maybe that name's coming to it, but I don't remember any kind of interaction or if I called him or talked to him over the phone. My brain is dying.
No, it's
This kind of
amazing.
sucks.
Is I'm looking at my contacts, and after AAA, the very first person in my phone, I have no fucking clue who they are. Like, and it's a full name like yours. I'm like, man, this is a really weird experiment because but the problem is deleting people out of your phone is so tedious. I've tried doing it and I'm like, I don't want to sit here. There's no easy way to group delete things. So I'm like, well, you're in here forever. And in case I ever bump into you again, no need. I already still got your number. That's why it's impressive when someone says like, oh, I don't have your number anymore. You're like, man, you went the extra fucking mile. Like your phone doesn't go like, oh, your phone's full. You got to delete some contacts because it doesn't take like any memory to save them. So to delete someone out of your contacts, that's impressive. But I guess great story, Matt. Let me try not be a total
I can do
disappointment.
another one. There's somebody right underneath him that I do remember.
Well, okay. Who?
Oh, okay. His name's Andy Richardson. Yeah, he lived in
Okay.
Texas. He was a cool dude. He would come to I think I knew him from the liquor store coming in, but he did comedy here and there, stand up. But he and I did one episode of a show once because he was like a cook. I think that's what he does now. He like moved up to Alaska to cook. But we did a thing where we went to,
as one tends to do.
Yeah, we brought a couple cameras to. It's called the 24-hour diner, 24 diner, and we bought like some. We did like a food taste test kind of deal, and drank some wine about it, and it was really fun. He's a cool dude. He invited me. I'd go to his apartment. He taught me. He's the first one that taught me how to play craps because they would run it in their apartment. So I went over there and played that. And then I forgot soon. I couldn't figure it out, but I feel like I learned it for like a week.
I want to recap this segment.
Yeah.
Matt finds someone in his phone who turns out he doesn't remember, but as our Google search, may be a mental health counselor. Then the next guy is the guy he meets at the liquor store who taught him craps.
Yeah.
Matt's doing A-okay for any of you that are wondering how he's doing since high school. Matt's doing just fine, thank you.
I'm not.
He's got hobbies. He's taking care of himself.
All right, you go then. You go, you genius. That is a thing, I guess. Yeah, it's a great little one-sentence summary of my life.
All right, spin the wheel for Jeff. Ed Kelm. Ed Kelm.
Is this the aforementioned Ed?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
We've
Ed
heard of an
was
Ed on the pod.
Yep. He had mentioned, he had messaged me and said that he was enjoying our little snippets. So Ed, here's more than a snippet for you. So, all right, so Ed lived a couple rooms down from me on the third floor of Riggs Hall at SUNY Oswego. On our freshman year, we lived in the freshman dorm. And so Ed was from Buffalo. He resides in Rochester now. And Ed was an interesting character. Ed was someone who didn't have a ton in common with me, but that's kind of what I was looking for, in freshman year. So we started hanging out. Often many of our Madden 2002 competitions were held in Ed and Vic's room, where a lot of us would congregate. Ed introduced me to a lot of hip hop. I didn't listen to any rap or hip hop in high school, but Ed was a big proponent of that. And I know he also had an offshoot affinity for Tom Petty as well, I believe. And
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we would start hanging out and stuff. And actually our Madden obsession on the first floor is my roommate John was a tech major, and he actually created a Madden championship belt for us back in 2001. We had a cardboard championship belt. That was pretty rad. Pretty proud of. All the ladies loved it. But Ed got mad one time because Jackass was really popular at this time, and there was a guy Tom who was all about pranking and stuff on our floor too. And so one time we got a boom box, and Ed and Vic's door was open, and so we went in and turned on the boom box nice and loud with some party music, dance music, and I ran in wearing a sock and just started dancing in their dorm room. Just wearing a sock over my unmentionables.
Where? Oh, hell yeah.
Yep, not on my foot. Ed woke up, and I don't like, he seemed really upset, as might be the case. So after that, we shared the same group of friends from that dorm experience. So they lived together in another hall. I went off and lived with fraternity brothers my second year. A lot of the guys stayed together, hung out. So I would keep going over and hanging out and stuff. And I'm like, I always feel like Ed never forgave me for that. I feel like there was some hostility at some point. Like it really
It's always
bothered
been
him
the
and
elephant
stuff.
in the room.
Yeah. And so like
The cock sock.
I reached I reached out to him probably like in 2009. So mind you, that happened in like 2001, maybe 2002. I reached out to him in like 2009, and I'm like, hey man, I hope you're doing well. And I'm just like, I'm really sorry.
You did.
Anything that I did to like really upset you. I'm like, I don't know if it was that thing or if just something in general, but I'm like, I really like to, in some way, shape, or form, I was asking for his forgiveness because I started coming around in my like late 20s and being like, you gotta fix some stuff if you're a piece of shit. So, and one quick sentence, he was like, just fucking come and hang out, man. And he like invited me to his house when I first moved to Buffalo. I spent New Year's Eve with him, him and his wife, and that was really cool. For them to invite me. His wife was from Oswego too. I know Steph from Riggs Hall, so from freshman year. And yeah, it was really nice that it was someone that I felt I always owed an apology to, and that we had a jacked up relationship, and that was 100% my fault. And so, after years and years of wondering what Ed thought of me, like he got his chance to say, I put it out there, and then he seemed to accept the apology, and we continued to hang out. I love seeing him when I can, dropping him messages on social media, seeing his pictures. He recently went to London for the Bills game. He's a diehard Bills fan.
Oh yeah, that was him. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Him and his wife Steph have been nothing but really great friends to know. And now it's the stage of life where they have two daughters. I think Zoe's soon going into high school, and Jules is a couple years behind her. So, yep. Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. Ed's a great guy, and yeah, that's Ed. That's Ed Kelm.
Congratulations, Ed. You are the Strange Fam Listener of the Week.
What?
And boom goes the dynamite.
You and Lawrence
Wow.
Resnick.
If you're out there, Lawrence,
Yeah.
call
You're out
in.
there, Lawrence. Kate, check in with me.
Yeah, you're
give me a
not
shout.
doing a great job. You haven't checked in with Matt in forever.
It's your job to check in with me.
Right. I'm not
This is
well. Fix
Yeah,
it.
it's a you problem. Yeah.
Yeah. I am a problem for you to solve.
Yeah. You can't run away from your problems, Lawrence.
First, it was my parents' problem. Now I'm your problem. Fix me.
Yeah.
Classic Lawrence.
It's a good segue into quickly.
isn't.
I want to give an update on my dating life.
Mm-hmm.
And Um, the bad news is there is no bad news. Good news, bad news. I downloaded Hinge.
What?
Do you know of Hinge?
I
It's a
know of
dating
it.
app.
I know nothing about it. Does
So
it
it
have its
basically has
own?
more
What's its
prompts.
tweak? Okay.
It's like it's called the app dating app meant to be deleted or something like that. And I tell you what, I'm about to delete it. It sucks already. It's like, you know what? Not different from Tinder or Bumble, really. Kind of the same crop of people. It does.
Okay.
It's cool in that like you can do voice prompts and videos, and like you can prompt people to ask questions. I mean, I've only been on it for a couple of days. I don't know how to do it yet. I might have to look up a YouTube video on how to hinge because I
Well,
don't
Jesus
understand it.
Christ! Look at do you listen to yourself? You're
It's
like,
so
I don't know how to.
complicated.
I'm ready to delete this. Stupid. I also don't know anything on how to use it. Well, fucking stop being a boomer and figure the fucking technology out.
I mean, I understand how to use it. I just don't understand how to use it. You know, how to successfully use it. So, because you can do things, you don't just like somebody and swipe. You have to you could like a picture or something like that they say, but then you can also send like a comment to it. So, do I send
Yes.
instead of just liking something? Should I send a comment with everything
Yes.
I send?
Yes.
Okay, good then. Well, here's another wrinkle too. So, I'm going to do something. So, you can set your preferences. So, you know, I don't think I'm a very unreasonable person. So, I did say I did eliminate. I put within 50 miles, so I'm willing to travel. And I think that's far enough. But then within 50 miles, I said ideally, and this isn't like deal breakers, but I said ideally, I took off a couple things. I took off if you put that you're Christian and conservative in your profile, and have kids, I probably won't be super interested. And not just because I
So
mean,
wait,
yes,
is one or the
do I
other
lean more
okay?
liberal?
Is
Yes,
it,
but I don't want somebody to like that's their identity is to put conservative in there because we probably won't end up getting along if it's that important to you that you have to put it in your dating profile. Or if you have to put that you're Christian, like fine, you believe what you want, but if that's part of your identity, we're probably not. But again, it doesn't mean whatever.
oh
Same
yeah,
with kids.
you are
Then,
fucked.
well, I'll show you just how fucked I am. 50 miles. So when you can click a thing
Hold
like
on,
compatible
hold on.
people.
Before you continue, did you just say that if you have to put it's okay that you have kids, but if you have to put them in your profile, then it's too big of a
Not the
part of
kids
your
part.
life?
The kids
Oh,
part's fine. I mean, not that.
okay. I was
Yeah, the
gonna
other
say,
parts. The other
I'm like,
parts. Yeah,
that's
yeah.
fucking terrible. At least
Yeah,
hide
yeah.
it that you have kids.
Yeah, no. So you can choose. You can sort by compatible. So it means people like basically people like so that do fit your preferences. But we're talking Rochester, New Hartford, like fucking all over the place. A lot of Ithaca. But then when I click nearby, so I'm like, let's have a date. There are no more daters within your preferences who are nearby. That's what it says every time now. So if I'm going to find anybody around here, I've got to be a conservative Christian with kids. So that's very inspiring. And I'll do it. I'll do it for the right woman. I'll do it. That's a bummer. I'm very excited. But
Well,
you know
how
what? I
many?
believe
If you took off those filters, how many people does it produce?
more. Like those are very simple filters, though. Like,
Are they?
maybe not. I think it's gonna be okay though. It'll be all right. This week. My goal is to send some. What do they call it? Responses or prompts or something. And I don't know, but I'm optimistic. Plus, the bar scene around here is incredible. So I'm gonna probably hit that up again. Try to really.
Nope, that's not true.
I gotta move. I'm next year is gonna be a big year for me. Look out, episode 53.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a big life altering decision on our annual spectacular.
Come down here. We'll do it live.
But yeah, that's the update. So at least I've downloaded it. I'm interested. and I'm going to try. So there you go.
Uh-huh. Okay. Okay.
All right.
Well, yeah, I mean, what is this, Hinge?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Seems like people like
And
it. I
this
think
is fr-
like
and th-
I heard it referenced a
this is
lot, and
and this is free?
oh no, I'm losing you.
Is this
No.
testing, attention please.
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you.
And this
It
is
might be just enough.
this is a free service.
It is. Yep. But it's one of those if you pay, get a subscription or something, you can like you get on more people's timelines, or like you get more likes or something like that. So we'll see. Maybe I'll pay for it for a month to just really experience it. And if it doesn't work,
It's probably worth that.
yeah, it's like what?
Because I mean, you're literally
to find love. No, I got to buy a pizza.
Yep, exactly. That's the problem. Is you have to go like, yeah. While I would like it to be free. How important is this to me? And you're like, my love life. Nah, I'd be happier with a pizza.
Dude, Apex just dropped new DLC. I gotta get that. I gotta get that new costume.
Oh my god!
I can't afford love in my life right now.
Yeah. What if? Oh man, that's terrible. Yeah. Well, it's probably a good spot to wrap it up. You know, always end with your love life.
Hey, have a great wedding. Take some pics.
No.
You know? Yeah.
I mean, no, I'm not going to take pictures.
Well, is Caitlin going to post a couple's pic of you guys?
Probably.
She better.
Probably.
How am I going to know that you guys were there at a wedding together? I got to see it.
Clean up.
I need something to talk about with Lawrence. I do have friends, and he goes to weddings all the time. Yeah.
I'm living socially vicariously through him.
Yeah.
I have friends, and those friends go to weddings.
Yeah, they do stuff.
They dressed up.
Stuff.
What are you wearing, Matt? Sweatpants? Shut up. Leave me alone. We're not talking about me. All right. And remember, folks, sweatpants aren't as socially acceptable as you want to think they are. All right. Good night, everybody.
Does it work properly? It's
They're not.
just convenient.
Pajama pants aren't real pants.
I've confused my priorities. Isn't it supposed to
If you're sweating in sweatpants, you're doing it wrong.